Okay, so remember to rationalize, we multiply by radical 3. Now, how come we multiply by radical 3? Right, we multiply to the bottom, we multiply to the top. What is the index, by the way, for our radical 3 in the bottom?
2.
That means how many identical things would you need? 2. That's why we multiply one more. So let's simplify that really quickly. On the top, what would you have?
5 rad 3.
5 rad 3. On the bottom, what would you have? 6. Some of you, if you don't see it, rad 3 times rad 3 is simply 3, right? Rad 3 times rad 3 is simply 3. So that's why some of us came up with 5 rad 3 all over 6 and box that up, because can you reduce the 3 under the radical and the 6 on the outside? No. So that's why we just box it up. Brandon?
How do you multiply the 6 on the bottom, so the bottom and top? You gotta go.
Multiply 6? What do you mean? Where does 6 come from?
The bottom?
No, you can't multiply those at all. That's one's on the outside. Okay, what about it?
Multiply the top and bottom by 6.
There's no more radical. I don't have to worry about it.
I know, but can't you just solve them?
No.
No, remember, we want to get in the simplest form. We don't want to get fatter. We want to get it smaller. So you multiply top and bottom by 6. Now on the top, you got 30 rad 3. And the bottom, you got 36. You're getting bigger. In math, we want it simpler, not bigger. Okay? 12. You have in the radical 2 divided by 5. How would you rationalize this? If it's all under one big radical, can you rewrite it so that way it's 2 separate radicals, like that? Yes, always, and vice versa. If they are separated, you can write it under one big radical. So that means, how do you rationalize them here? Multiply top and bottom by rad 5. Okay, remember, what you multiply to the top, you multiply to the bottom, and vice versa. Now we have, what's on the bottom? 5. What's on the top? Can I simplify at all? No. Okay, we box it up. So in your answers, you can't have radicals on the bottom. That's why we simplify. How about number 13? What do we do? There are multiple ways to do this.
Multiply.
Should we simplify first or multiply and then simplify? It's up to you. Okay, we can do both. So if you multiply first, what are you going to multiply? Rad 8. That means on the top, what do we now have? 4 rad 8. On the bottom, just 8. Now what? Simplify, because these are both on the outside. I get 1 right there, and what's on the bottom? 2. So now you guys have rad 8 divided by, should I box that up? No, because rad 8 can be simplified further. How do you simplify rad 8? Remember, rad 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, right, y'all? Okay, that means you can take out a 2. So 2 rad what?
2.
2. All over 2. Can I simplify the 2's on the outside?
Yeah.
Good. What is your final answer? Rad 2. Okay. So those questions are fairly easy. And then you get to 14. 14, 15, and 16 are similar to each other. Can you see that there are radicals on all 3 of those? But how do we rationalize those? What do you want me to multiply? Okay, don't write this down. I'm going to multiply by rad 5. Do not write this down. I'm going to show you. If I do that, wouldn't I still now have radical on the bottom? Uh-oh, it's right. Okay, so that's not going to work. What would you do? Whoa. By the way, who remembers what the conjugate was first semester? Conjugate terms. Remember this? The sign flip. The sign where? All of the signs or just one location? The one in the middle. You're right. Okay? Yes, Brooke.
Why can't you multiply the top and bottom by rad 5?
Oh, yeah. If I multiply the top and bottom by rad 5, hun, guess what happens? Now I multiply that out. On the bottom, it's 5 rad 5. I still have radicals.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, so conjugate it is. Remember, okay, conjugate of the top or the bottom? Bottom. So now it is multiplied by the conjugate, which is 5 what? Plus 2 rad 5. What you multiply to the bottom, you multiply to the top. Okay, so those are conjugates of each other on the denominator. But let me show you something that we did already. Maybe some of you remember and some of you didn't. Yesterday, we did example 10. Can you see those two are conjugates of one another? Look at the answers. Aren't they very cute? Isn't that answer pretty friendly? And then guess what happened to the terms in the middle? They do. That's why I love conjugates. So now that we know conjugate pair cancels in the middle, do I have to worry about multiplying the inner and the middle terms? No. So I'm just going to multiply the outers, okay? So knowing that, that will help us speed up the process. Okay. So on 14, on the top, I still have to multiply out everything. So 2 times 5 is 10. Okay. 2 times 2 rad 5 is 4 rad 5. Rad 5 times 5 is 5 rad 5. Rad 5 times 2 rad 5 is 10. Some of you know 10. Now, if you don't know, I'll write this out. They get 10 is because it's 2 times 5. Okay. On the bottom, oh, those conjugates. On the bottom, are those conjugates of each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I need to multiply everything?
No.
No. Just the first 2 and the last 2. Okay. All right. That's 5 times 5 is what? 25. Negative 2 rad 5 times a positive 2 rad 5 is negative 20, which I'm going to write negative 4 times 5. If you know it's negative 20, write negative 20, okay?
Wait.
Yes, wait.
So you just do 5 times 5 and negative 2 rad 5 times.
Yeah, because negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. Rad 5 times rad 5 is technically rad 25, but rad 25 is simply 5. Okay. So now we're going to simplify some more. Okay. So on the top, would you agree that 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So that's 20. Then in the middle, 4 rad 5 and 5 rad 5 makes a total of how much? 9 rad 5. On the bottom, some of you said, well, 4 times 5 is technically 20. So 25 minus 20 is 5. Can I simplify any further than that? Can I simplify further than that?
Yeah.
No, because this top is it's a couple. For you to simplify further, they have to be factor out the same term. Can I factor out the same term on the top? No, so we box that up. All right, we'll do together 15, and then I'll have you guys do on your own. So how do we rationalize conjugate? What's a conjugate for 15? 2 plus rad 6. When you multiply to the bottom, you multiply to the top. On the top, we have to multiply everything out. So here we go. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times rad 6 is 2 rad 6. Rad 6 times 2 is 2 rad 6. Okay. And rad 6 times rad 6 is simply 6. On the bottom, do I need to multiply all of that out? Nope. So we multiply the first 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we go multiply our last, negative 6 and a positive 6. When we multiply, what do we get? Negative 6. Okay. Can we combine like terms? 4 plus 6 is 10. And how many rad 6 do we have? 4 rad 6. All over what? Negative 2. What would you do here? Factor, simplify. What are you going to factor on the top?
2.
You're going to factor 2. Okay, so take out 2. What's left? 5 plus 2 rad 6. All over negative 2. Can I simplify? Yes. So the 2's and 2's will cancel. I'm left with -1. But you never really want to write it over -1. So where would you put that negative sign now? On the top. So you can put it on the top. So negative quantity 5 plus 2 rad 6. And somebody said, well, if I feel like distributing the negative, can I do that? And the answer is always yes. Either one. Yes, Hunter.
If you have a negative on bottom, will you take off 1?
Yeah, because technically you can divide that. It's like over 1, you know. Brandon, see?
Remember you said like you couldn't, wouldn't it, instead of being 4 rad 6, would it be 2 plus 2 rad 6?
Where are we at?
On over like where it's 4 minus 6.
Mm-hmm.
You see where on top of it it says 2 rad 6 plus 2 rad 6?
Mm-hmm. That's 4 rad 6, uh-huh.
Did you say like you can't put it to 4 rad 6 and you have to do 2 plus 2 rad 6?
No, because the radicands are the same and the index is the same, just you combine like terms. If the radicands are the same and the index is the same, you can add. 2 minutes, work on the last question, 16. Once you have an answer, can you turn to a partner and compare that? If you see that your partner's struggling, can you help your partner out, please? Oh, yeah.
Since nothing's attached to the rad 3
No, remember, none of this is attached, as you can see. Yeah.
Oh,
But they are still seen as a couple. Some of you are done with example 16. What's in the denominator? You ended up with 13. Is that right? Okay. So, what did you, Joe, what did you multiply for 16 to rationalize? Good. So, 4 plus rad 3, 4 plus radical 3. On the top, can you help me distribute? Gemma, on the top, help me distribute. Plus, I'm sorry, one more time. 28 plus rad 3. I can't hear you, honey. So 7 times 4 is what, Gemma? Good. 7 times rad 3 is what? You can't multiply radical and non-radical. Much better. 7 rad 3. On the bottom. Here we go. On the bottom, Brendan C. What should you have on the bottom when you multiply those two conjugates?
No trace. 13.
No. Tell me, how'd you get it?
How do I get it?
Yep. What's 4 times 4?
That would be 16.
Good.
And then,
Minus what?
3.
Good. Thank you. Then on the top, looks like, can I factor out anything in the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you factor out? It's 7. So you're left with what? 4 plus radical 3. On the bottom, we do have 13. But even if it's factor or non, can you see that you can't reduce? So technically, I will accept non-factor because you can't reduce anyway. So either form will be perfectly okay. So this or that. Okay.